Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 114th ever episode of the Dex Podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Kellz.
And today, guys, holy malolies, right?
Holy Malola.
Holy Alola, right?
Yeah.
Alola, Kellz.
Alola, Alex.
Guys, the Sun and Moon demo has dropped. This is the Dex Podcast. We're Alex and Kelly from the YouTube show The Dex. Jimmy's not here, and I'll get into why right now, actually, because I don't want to talk about it too much during this podcast, which is going to be focused on the demo itself. There was a large amount of people who thought it would be cool to tweet us spoilers for the entire game. As you may know, the demo has been data mined, a lot of information regarding the Pokedex, final forms of the starter evolutions, as well as some other things regarding legendaries and final forms, just a bunch of Pokemon Alolan forms, all were leaked this week, and it sort of took the wind out of Jimmy's sails as far as the demo is concerned, so he didn't appear on this episode because he didn't play the demo.
Right.
And I think that sucks. So whatever, like, the only argument I ever get towards my attitude towards spoilers is that it's my fault for going on the internet. But I don't really have a problem with people who are spoiling so much as I have a problem with people who are, like, sending those spoilers to us. So
yeah, unwarranted spoilers are really, really, really not okay. Please don't do it to anyone, to anybody, even if you're so excited that you were right or something.
Yeah, I understand.
Please.
I understand, like, being excited. I understand that, but I just, for reals, I got spoiled on everything just because people sent it to me. No commentary even, just sent me PNGs of stuff. You know what I mean? Just directly to me. And now, like, you guys listen to me ostensibly because I love this game. That's probably why you guys tune into this. Kellz literally is famous for loving Pokemon. And now,
oh, come on.
Yeah, but I mean, like, now, like, we don't get to have a wonderful, fresh, surprising experience when we play the game. And a lot of other people who might want to have done that aren't going to be able to do that either. So all I ask when you're spoiling things is to include a spoiler warning. So simple. Very courteous.
And as far as things that appear on our channel are concerned, what we will be dealing with is exclusively things that have been officially revealed. And we are not going to go into the data mining whatsoever. So
before we were just dealing with rumors. We have reported on data mining in the past, but I've never felt that anything that we've ever reported on has been in any way detrimental to the experience of the game. But I believe that these leaks have been. I believe these leaks were purposefully never going to be intended by Pokemon, up until the game was released. And so that's our position on it, and we're not going to be covering the leaks.
I feel like every time we're always like, this sucks, and it truly does. I'm really disappointed because, like, I don't understand why people feel that it's a cool thing to think about
what it does for the industry, right? It takes the thing that they worked on and put it out there before it was done and present it in a way that is completely out of their control. And I understand freedom of information, but this is, like, ostensibly, like, a product that you love and that we all share a strong affection for, and you're just sapping people's enjoyment away or leading them to rush judgment on things that they don't have the proper context for.
Right.
So just remember that. And that's not me being mean. It's just like, it's really happened to me.
It's just a big shame.
It really happened.
So,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I'm actually bummed out about it. Like, it actually sucked that happened. But I don't want to talk about it too much. I just want to open the podcast with it, just so you know where we stand on it.
We will be going over the playable parts of the demo so far. So if you haven't finished the demo, you might want to hold on and do it before you listen.
There's gonna be spoilers for the actual demo that was released here because it's actually already out and you can play it right now. So I will issue that warning. Like, don't listen to this episode if you're planning on playing the demo. But also, you should listen to this episode or pause it and play through the demo real quick and then come back because there's some stuff about the demo that has not come to pass yet. And so we're going to cover that as well.
Yeah.
But, like, damn. How was your Poke Week?
Well, I guess my Poke Week was pretty tight. I got back into TCG a little bit more just to, like, hype myself up for it. And
TCG is so tight.
I know, right? And Wallace got really excited and decided to boof during this talking portion.
It's okay.
That's all. Yeah, it's all right. But anyway, yeah, I played through the demo so far. I'm very excited about what it could mean, and the new changes that I've already been seeing. So I mean, like pretty buzzy Poke Week.
Yeah, I'm blown away. I'm blown away by the aesthetic. I'm blown away by the music. I'm blown away by the writing. There's just a bunch of stuff in here that just elevates the game. It just evolves Pokemon. That's not.
Yeah, it's very.
I realize that's an awful pun, but yeah. And anyway, if you guys are keeping track, keep an eye on the Dex channel as well, because we're going to be doing periodic updates regarding the demo leading up to the release of the game. Because like I said, stuff's going to happen. So we're going to cover in-depth like mysteries and stuff. Not in-depth, but like a quick video to remind you, when to go back into the demo if you already played it. And also, just discuss some of the like more interesting, crazy things in the demo. But we're also going to talk about a lot of that here. So this is our special demo episode. We're just going to quickly go through the plot of the demo and just kind of like talk about it quickly, kind of just review it almost.
But first, before we do that, there are a couple things.
Oh yeah, we want to do a little bit of
this week. So here's the very, very quick and abridged news.
Welcome to the news, darlings.
I sounded like Shauna, didn't I?
Shauna?
Yeah, from the anime.
I don't know. I don't really watch the anime.
Hi, Serena. She sucks so weird.
You sound like Ash.
Well, no, that doesn't sound like Ash. Okay, so a couple news announcements for this week. First of all, if you live in the United States, you can see Pokemon the first movie because it's getting a re-release in some cinemas across North America.
That is going to be so hype. I'm going to that.
It's October 29th through November 1st. It's just for a weekend, but it's in honor of Pokemon 20. So like definitely let's go to that.
Oh my
Cinemark.
God.
So if you are near a Cinemark, look out for that. Exciting thing. Two, there was a box of Pokemon TCG cards, like a booster box that had its design revealed, and on the side of the box there was a brand new Pokemon that had not been seen before. There is no name yet, but it looks like an underwater Pokemon. It's kind of like purple with like tendrils off of its head.
Yeah, I was gonna say underwater, or maybe like one of those like fleshy, stinky flower type.
Oh yeah, it's definitely underwater though.
Yeah,
it's got like water patterns on it. It looks like some sort of like coral or something like that. But that was kind of neat. That was like. It's on an official piece of merchandise that's been revealed. So like, that's a neat thing to see. And what else was there? There was also an Ash-Greninja theme that was released today in the eShop, probably in honor of the demo and you being able to use Ash-Greninja in the demo, which will be, talked about a little bit more in a second.
Yep.
And then finally, the next official news for Pokemon Sun and Moon is going to be released October 27th. Which is at 10 p.m. at Japan Standard Time, which for us, you and me, Alex, on the West Coast is going to be 6 a.m. PDT. So
on the 27th?
9 o'clock on the East Coast.
And is that the last big announcement? Is that what you said?
27th. It doesn't say if it's the last announcement, but it is like another official news broadcast.
Psyched for that. I'm ready for that.
Yeah, so that's all the basic news aside from the demo, which is going to be this next bit. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just going to jump right into the demo walkthrough. Like it just popped out. Everybody, I mean, a lot of people were playing it by like having international DSs, and like a lot of people, I saw Shady Penguin had like a 3-episode miniseries out like before the demo even dropped in America, which was like funny, like just watching everybody hustle. But it finally came out 7 a.m. I waited just because I knew that I wasn't gonna try and do like a let's play of it or anything. So I was just like, I'm gonna wake up and like download it and play it.
I had work, so I couldn't do it till after work. I was like thinking about it all day.
Yeah. So it starts with a cutscene, and it was really great. So it starts with like a little cutscene, and you get like your mom is like, yo, there's like a letter. You've just arrived in Alola. You've like moved there. And there's like a letter in your mailbox that's like, yo, here's a Greninja. Like, this is from like somebody that you seem to have history with.
Oh man, it seems like you made it to Alola safe and sound. Here's my Greninja. This is from no one. And then the game's like, they forgot to sign their name on any of this. We can't
except
tell
for
at
on
all.
the damn Greninja. Except for on the damn Greninja. But then you end up going to City Hall. There's some stuff that goes down. You meet Hao, the like rival type friend guy of the game.
Can we talk about first how super funny it is that everybody in the Alola region says Alola to say hello?
Oh my god, yeah.
That's super funny because like in Hawaii they don't say Hawaii, they say Aloha, which is like, but it's still very funny.
Alola
characters that are like Alola. It's just so funny.
It's funny because of how much everybody already says Alola because of the Alolan forms.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
silly. Team Skull. What?
Also, the demo character is from the Kanto region. That's what it said.
That's right.
Yeah. So that's what the like postman asks you, like, oh, you guys are from the Kanto region, right? So that's interesting.
I wonder if you're like Ash's little brother in the game.
What?
Wouldn't that be weird?
That'd be crazy.
Anyway, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, brief conversation happens. This is the Twinfinite walkthrough, by the way. I'm following. So if there's any inconsistencies here, twinfinite.net.
Gotcha. Oh, well, I have like a mini walkthrough of what I was doing like while I was playing it.
Okay, well, yeah, just
also
add it to this.
Well, yeah, I want to add that it's. Did you notice that the movement is control stick only? You can't use the D-pad to move.
For a very good reason, which I'm very excited about.
Aww.
Did you get that far?
What do you mean?
Do you know why the D-pad?
I can't. What?
Did you?
We'll talk about it when we get there.
Yep.
I guess.
Yep.
But anyway, yeah, I think what you were. Go on with the walk.
So these two breakdancing gangsters show up. They're the Team Skull grunts. They're so active. It's so funny. They're like,
yeah, they're doing like pop and lock.
Yeah. It's so
very,
funny.
Very funny.
And they're like, give us your Pokemon. And you're like, no.
No.
And then Water Shriekin wrecks everyone. Like, if you just use it, you just kill everything in this demo, basically. I don't know. It's crazy that they give you a Greninja in this demo.
The Greninja actually is cool, though, because it has some of the moves that Ash's has in the anime. It has Double Team and Water Shuriken. And,
it's clearly Ash's Greninja.
Yeah, absolutely. And Aerial Ace, too. He uses that quite often. I don't see him often use Night Slash, but I know he's got Cut. But I think that like they probably didn't want to give us Cut, especially because of the weird
I don't think there's going to be HMs. Or maybe there will be HMs, but they just won't be permanent anymore. Maybe they'll just be TMs. Anyway, you beat them. And they're like, what? And then you go north to the Pokemon Center. Hal gives you a super potion for some reason. He's like,
I used that super potion.
He's like, this is the Pokemon Center. You're like, I know, dude. This is my 7th Pokemon game. And then you go back outside. You run into like Cyber Professor Kukui. And he tells you like, instead of gyms, we have trials. I don't think he actually says instead of gyms, but he's just like, trials are like an important part of
It's the way you grow up.
Yeah, it's
and
like
then
how we do it.
One of the characters on the map
Because
says
you have to turn
that,
11, right?
Yeah, says that you turn 11 and then you're allowed to participate in the island trials.
It's like the Hunger Games.
Jeez. But something that I did notice, like right after this part where you talk to them before you go on to the next area, is that did you hear all the Pokemon cries happening out on the main map?
Yes.
So good.
It just
I thought
makes
that was
it
a
feel
great,
so
great
rich.
thing. Yeah, definitely. And another thing that that was cool that also enhanced my experience at least is that people turn to face you when you approach them, and Pokemon do too. So you're like walking past a Slowpoke and it's like, oh, I'm gonna look at you as you go by.
Dude,
like, that
also
is very cool.
The way that trainers, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, for sure.
So then he's like, okay, when you're ready to do a trial, go to 10 Carat Hill. There's like a weird guy you have to talk to go to 10 Carat Hill. Go talk to that guy. And you're like, okay. There is Tall Grass 10 Carat Hill, which is dope. It's
the
like
battle start animation is really cool.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah.
it's all just like a joke. Like you just bop everyone, no problem.
Yeah, because of your beastly Greninja.
You get to this cave. Kukui's there. He's like, this is Pokemon Snap, but it's called the Poke Finder.
Oh my gosh. The trial was to photograph all of the Pokemon.
Yeah. Well, so he's like, here, take this Pikachu just in case you get bopped, which is like a joke because Ash-Greninja is literally unkillable. And then you just go through these little holes and you like take pictures of, what are they, Jangmo-o and Hakamo'o?
Yeah. And you can't really like zoom in or anything like that, but it was confirmed earlier in an earlier report that you will get more features to the camera as it goes along. So I think this was kind of like a demo of this.
I think it was just a proof of concept.
Yeah.
I really didn't have a problem moving the DS around, did you?
No. I did
totally
turn it off at one point because it like got
glitched out or
with
something?
like how
Yeah.
I was trying to play it. But no, it was totally fine.
I totally like was into it. It's easy. You'd use R to take the pictures. And then for some reason it was like, it got mad because you took a picture. You have to find it.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh yeah, they hate getting their picture taken.
You know what I thought was kind of cool? In during the battles, I noticed that I like swapped the Greninja out for the Pikachu, and their battle animations differ based on the type of move that you use, which is cool. That's another like heightened detail. It's like these little details that I really like. Like Slam was like he got on all fours and then like did an attack animation. And then
Right.
Thunderbolt he like got up in the air and did it.
I mean,
It was
they
really cool.
really did not skimp on They never skimp on Pikachu. He's
right,
always
but
like the best.
it's all the Pokemon. All the Pokemon, depending the kind of move they use, they have different like little sprite animations, and I think that was intentional. I remember them saying that was intentional, so that they felt
they
more
really
alive.
wanted like the Pokemon to just feel more animated.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Yeah, it's, you know what? Actually, like thinking back to like Skarmory and stuff like that, or
Yeah.
Xatu, it's just like wow, like those were really bad actually.
Oh yeah, where they were just like kind of like statically floating in the air.
So yeah. So this is hilarious. So the quest was like take 2 pictures of Jangmo-o and 2 pictures of Hakamo-o. And you take the first Hakamo-o picture, you fight him, it's no big deal. Then you go outside and you're like, there's the other one. And you take the pic and it's like, and you realize that he's like not the size that you think he is, that he's like way bigger.
That he was like standing much further away
Yeah.
than he thought. That he's a huge totem Hakamo-o.
Yeah, so he gets wrecked because he's a fighting type and you have Aerial Ace. But he brings in Rockruff if you like leave him alive long enough.
Mm-hmm.
And Rockruff is also weak against Greninja because Water Shuriken bops a rock.
Right.
And Water Shuriken is now a special type move, which just makes it so much better, which like is a crazy, like it's indicative that like Pokemon is just like nothing is sacred. Like we are going to make this game everything better, everything cool. And that is like so tight to me. So I'm really excited about that. So you bop a totem Pokemon, it's like a pretty cool thing. I hope that there's a little bit more ceremony around it in like the real game. Because it was just like it was funny, but it was just
really
like
funny.
yeah. I thought that there would be more like it's a totem Pokemon, like you know, like I don't know. It was all right. It was cool.
Sure.
You beat it. Kukui's like, good job. Here's the Z-Ring and the Z-Crystal and the thing for Pikachu.
So I think he gives you the Electrium Z, which I think is the regular type electric attack, because obviously we know Pikachu has
He has
his
the
own.
like volts, whatever.
Yeah,
it's
so
called.
this was just Gigavolt Havoc is the regular electric Z move, so we now know that.
Is that right? Are you sure that wasn't Pikachu's?
I'm sure. Yeah, because
Okay.
Pikachu's was like Pika something.
Oh, that's right.
Pika something.
So
Psycho Pika.
he gives you that stuff. It's like he's like it's like Mega Evolution, but it's a move. It's tight. And so you have the Pikachu, and then Team Skull's like, hey, we brought our big sister, and she's Plumeria, and she is great. She's
cool. She looks cool.
Awesome.
Her
yeah.
battle music was awesome.
Oh my god,
it was
it
really
totally was.
cool.
All the music, like they really stepped it up with the quality of the recordings and everything, and it just sounds a lot better mixed, like for the speakers on the DS. Like maybe I don't know if the speakers are better on the new 3DS, but like damn, it's just it sounds good. You know,
Yeah.
I played Alpha Sapphire on my new 3DS. It doesn't sound as good.
Yeah, but
She has a Golbat. You should use Pikachu Z move while you have the chance.
yep.
It was tight. And then you're done. It's like, wow, that was great. If you ever want to like move anything, I'll be at the Pokemon Center. Your mom's like, okay, bye. And then it's like, doo-doo-doo.
And then it's the end of the demo, and then suddenly a trailer
Yep.
pops up.
Like an even is it a totally new trailer?
Yeah, it wasn't released before. It's really cool. It's like shows a lot of like very, very quick clips of the game. We saw like 3 new characters. There was a girl with Mudstale, a dude like on this flying airship with a Pelipper, and like this girl that's in like the purple ghost costume. So like, you know, lots of people. It says more exciting adventures await. Get ready for this. And that's the end of the first part of the demo.
Yeah. And then you got to go back in, and then you go back, and there's just like stuff happening. There's a Malasada shop that's cute. There's the police station that's cute. There's like the marina that's cute. There's like all these little like places you can go into and people to talk to.
Couple little important things. Do we want to go through all of, like the neat things that we found, or?
Oh, well, first, like there are like a few things left to do in the game that you can do right away.
Right.
One of them is that you find this girl and she's like, yo, I'll help you like be at peace with your Pokemon.
yeah.
And you're like, what? She's like, close your eyes. Let's go.
Well, first we didn't even talk about getting the pager.
Right. Okay. So who gives you that?
Professor Kukui does
At the end?
at the beginning when you load it up again after the
Right.
after the first playthrough. You load it up and Kukui gives you the ride pager and allows you to use Tauros.
So basically, you press Y if you want to pull out the ride pager and like pick Tauros, but you can also bind it to the D-pad. And so like
Oh, I didn't know you could bind it to the
and so like
D-pad.
it makes you just much more like, you know how like crappy it is to have to like fly and you're like pling pling
Yep.
pling.
You can just like get it right out.
Yeah, you just like press left on the D-pad and you're on Tauros. And you stay on Tauros and you stay in your like riding gear if you get in a battle with Tauros.
Yeah, that's really cool. That is really
And you can
cool.
go pretty much anywhere on Tauros, which is really awesome. Love that about it.
Which is very, very cool. You can talk to people while you're on Tauros. You can get in battles. It's like you don't have to like.
It's not like Go-Goat where it was like, this is a proof of concept. Goodbye.
Right. So basically, you use B to dash, and he can destroy rocks, and you can also open gates while you're on him as well.
Right.
So after you get the Tauros, you can go back out to Tancarot Hill, and you can.
No, the woman. We already mentioned the woman. So she's like centering herself. Like, let's figure out like how to improve the relationship with you and your Pokemon. And you go to this place, and she's like, "There's a dude who lives. Like, just go find what is in store." And you like break all the rocks up the hill. There's all these like sort of like tiki-looking totem things all along this path, and then it's like a bald dude in like a polo shirt and like jean shorts, and he's like, "Hey, what's up? I'm the mysterious man. Have this nugget, or what is it? Three Stardust." He's like, "Here you go. This is for you. I don't have anything else for you. Please don't ever come back here." And then the game like saves, and you're like, "That's weird."
Yeah.
So I kept going back to him, and he was like, "Hey, it's crazy that you came back, but let me tell you what, I've got nothing for you. Please leave." And you're like, "All right, great." Saves the game again. You're like, "What?" And I started to like get like tinglings of like Undertale or something. And so I went back and he was like, "Third time's a charm, huh? Well, that's really awesome that you came up here again, but I don't have anything for you."
Right.
And then the fourth time he's like, "Yo, is it because I'm like magnificently bald? Is it like my beautiful blonde head?" And then his head is like,
Ting.
and you're just like, "What is this guy?" And he's like, "I still don't have anything for you." And then it saves again, and you go back again, and he's like, "You know what? Screw it. It's great to know you. I'm glad that you keep coming up here. I'm starting to like really feel like close to you. Like I have like a good relationship with you, but I don't have anything for you. Please never come back." And so that's the loop. And I haven't gone back today yet, actually. I should now.
I actually went back a few more times, and that's the one that he stops on, where he's like, "I knew it was you because I heard you coming up and breaking the rocks. I'm glad to know you." And then he like gives you a nod, and then he repeats that one every other time that you come.
I wonder if at the end he's going to give you something.
Maybe.
Because it's so weird that you could progress through 5 different...
And that it saves after each one.
Yeah,
It's
that's
very
what I mean.
strange.
Like, well, because it has to remember that you've been there.
Yeah.
For that little mechanic to work. But it was so interesting. So that's the first thing you can do with Tauros. The other thing is on Tancarot Hill.
Right. So you go up to Tancarot Hill. You can break some rocks on the route to get to a couple new areas. The first one is a Pokemon catching challenge, where a guy gives you a bunch of Pokeballs and says, why don't you go catch some Pokemon? You can keep a team until you're done with the contest or whatever. And you can basically go around the grass and capture some Pokemon. You can get Pikipek, Yungoos. You can get Rockruff.
Pikachu.
You can get Pikachu. And is there anybody else? I think that's it.
Allegedly, but we'll get into that in a second.
And then basically after you're done with that, after you have exhausted your Pokemon catching for the day, you can go back to the guy. He gives you I think a star piece or something. But the interesting about the catching challenge itself is that it does give us a little bit of insight into, battling and how catching works. And the most interesting thing is once your party is full, there are a couple options for you. And then, so you can, when your party is full and you catch another Pokemon, you can add it directly to your party and choose a different one to send away. Or you can just like send it back to nature, which I think is only part of the catching challenge.
I think, because they just don't let you keep anything. So it's kind of...
Right, yeah, they don't let you keep any of the Pokemon that you catch. So what I think actually is this is like a preview into the game where once you catch a Pokemon out in the wild, you have the option to put it into your party right away and then send, whatever other Pokemon you need to back to its box. And you can also check the summary of the Pokemon right after you caught it, like even before the end of the battle. So you can kind of compare stats and stuff and say like, okay, well, actually this Pikipek is better than the one I have, so why don't I keep this one and send the other one away? Which I think is a really, really, really cool and slick mechanic.
Yeah, it's really like just better. Like all that stuff that I always complain about, like every time I talk about Pokemon, I'm always like, yeah, I mean, it's making changes, but it's still just holding on to this old dead skeleton. Like they're actually getting rid of all that stuff. And it's finally happening. It's really feeling good.
It seems really slick. Also, like the graphics look really, really good. The sprites of the Pokemon.
Well, apparently,
models of
unconfirmed, at least as far as I know, but apparently it chugs a little bit on regular 3DSs.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know. We both played on new 3DSs. I'm not sure what the vibe is on that, but our capture unit is an old 3DS, so we'll find out.
All right.
Yeah. So wait, what else? We did the Pokemon catching challenge.
Yes, and then there's a trainer challenge where.
Oh yeah, she's like beat every trainer.
Yeah, she's like, if you can beat every trainer on this route, then I'll fight you, and so you can do that. Cool.
What did she give you? Did she give you the nugget? Oh no, the guy gives you the nugget if you catch 3 Pokemon.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I can't remember what the girl gives you, but basically, yeah, you can go onto the route and fight against the other trainers. It's cool because when you walk up to them, once you're like in range of them, like almost starting to battle you, you get like a whoosh on your screen, and like there's like black bars that appear. That just kind of like signal like, oh, you're about to get into a battle. So like, if you need to like stop real quick before this procs, like do your thing. And then like the trainer will like look at you and get like ready. It's pretty neat.
Right. So also on that part of the route on 10 Carat Hill, allegedly, I've seen footage of this, so it is a thing. Mm-hmm. So I don't consider this an actual spoiler, right? Like this doesn't seem to be a spoiler to me, right?
Okay.
Right?
Right.
Are we on the same page about this? I don't want to say it unless you agree with me.
Yes, I think yes, we are.
So officially in the demo, I think is why I'm feeling okay with this, is sometimes on the beach, there's a woman. And when you run into this woman, I've not done this in my demo, but I've seen it in videos. She's there and she's like, there's something out there. Use your Poke Finder. And you Pokemon snap it. And it's the reveal of a Alolan Dugtrio who has like Brady Bunch blonde wigs on its head.
Very, very
It
silly.
is so, it's like Don Ho. It's so perfect and like so in line with this goofy, like retro Hawaiian aesthetic that the game has that I'm just like I haven't been so charmed by the aesthetic of the game since Gen 2. Seriously.
It's very, very funny.
I love Alolan Dugtrio, but apparently he's super hard to run into. So if you actually do run into him, you're very lucky. You should film it and put it on your YouTube channel. And also apparently you can catch them in the wild. Not catch them, but run into them in the wild. So I don't know if that's true or not, but you'll get a better look at it that way if you just grind it out, because I've seen screenshots of that happening as well. So that's Alolan Dugtrio. And then other than that, all around the town, there's a bunch of people who are talking about special events that happen. One of them already happened as of today, the recording of this on Wednesday. But basically, I'm just going to give you the rundown. So today, hopefully you got this one. I don't know what the vibe is on like passing the day.
It's basically, I think it's individual to your game clock. So like if you only got the demo today, then I think this event procs tomorrow.
Oh, I don't think so.
Are you sure?
I'm not 100% sure. Maybe so, but I think it's tied to the date. But I don't know. My question is, if you miss it today, can you go get it like 3 days from now?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, hopefully you got it. It's the man standing outside of the Pokemon Center. He's like, yo, tomorrow I'll have some cool stuff for you. And now that that's happened, should I say what it is that he gives you? Because that's the only one I know that so far.
Yeah.
So basically you get 10 pretty wings. He's just like, here you go.
Nice.
Which is great. There's another woman who's at the street sign in the bottom left corner of town. She's like, yo, my buff boyfriend is coming.
Wait, what?
Right? Isn't that what she says? She's like, yeah. She's like, or no, it's not her boyfriend. It's a dude who helped her with her broken ankle or something.
Oh, I didn't see this girl.
She was like, I'm gonna meet this dude here in 5 days, so be here. I don't know who the buff dude is. Hopefully it's what's his name? Hala? Or somebody like that, like a character that we've already seen because I want to meet him. Or maybe Gladion?
Oh.
I don't know. But she's like, he helped me with my sprained ankle. That's going to be on the 23rd of October. There's a man inside of City Hall who has a Pikachu with him. And he's like, yo, it's my Pikachu's birthday in 12 days, which is the day before Halloween, October 30th. So that's another thing you can go check in with. I don't know what that's going to be. Maybe he's going to give Pikachu a gift. I don't know.
Maybe Pikachu will give you a gift.
Yeah, maybe I'm sure you're going to get something out of it, but I just don't know what. There's also a policeman down on the marina who's like, yo, there were some shady characters down here who are like going to do some kind of weird deal at the marina in 18 days, which is November 5th. Crazy, right? I don't know. That's got to be Team Skull.
Yeah, gotta be.
Then there is a woman inside the ferry terminal who is like, I'm leaving in 24 days, so come see me off on the 11th. And then we don't know. Was one other one, which is like there's a cafe.
Right. I was actually going to talk about the Pokemon Center because like this was like kind of a cool
hop on
cool train. So the inside of the Pokemon Center is very, very cool looking. The
much
center
different.
the center counter is like an area, of course, to heal your Pokemon. The Nurse Joy has got like one hair loop as her braid or
She looks
whatever.
really cute, yeah.
She looks very nice. And your Pokemon like appear on the screen behind her when she's healing them, which is really cool. But the left side of the Pokemon Center is a item shop. And then the right side is a cafe. And when you talk to the cafe owner, she says that the owner, or the cafe worker, she says that the owner is out traveling the world looking for ingredients, and that he will be back in, quote, about a month, which is exactly when the game comes out. So he'll probably be.
Yeah, I don't know if they're
that's
saying.
probably a feature that'll come out when the game comes out.
Well, I don't know if they're saying like, yo, check out the real cafe in the game, or if they're saying like, there's
took it to
one
mean
last
that.
thing in the game.
I took it to mean that it was like.
That's kind of how I
this is
felt,
gonna
but
happen
I've
in the
seen it
game.
mentioned on a couple lists, and I'm just like, I could see it being like, that's where you get like some leftovers for your Munchlax or something like that. You know what I mean? Because everybody's getting that pre-order Munchlax, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
But interestingly enough, the Pokemon Center itself, there was no PC terminal.
Yeah.
You noticed that, huh?
I did. I think it's because the Pokepelago is going to be like the new deal. I think it's going to be, well, because that's the thing we didn't mention is that the Pokefinder is the Rotom Dex.
Yeah.
But except with a commercial on the front of its face instead of normal stuff. But
Right.
I just don't know. I'm very excited about it. What else is there? What else are we
What
missing?
else was there? Oh, there was a girl that was standing in front of a shop and was talking about a person named Kalili,
Oh, yeah.
who is a golfing genius and an expert battler. And their quote was, "She's off conquering the world right now, but I hope she comes back someday," which makes me feel like,
Champion?
maybe that's a champion or, at least like someone super powerful
Yep.
in the Pokemon world. Kalili, though, like a golfer and a battler. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's
Golf.
like pretty funny because it's Hawaii.
It's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise, like, people around the town, they all have really cool things to say. Like, definitely neat to see the world a little bit and get a preview of that. So
Also,
that's
shout
nice.
outs to whoever said rocks on rocks on rocks. Who was that?
I don't know.
Do you remember that?
No, I didn't.
It was like, yo, you got Tauros now. You could smash rocks on rocks on rocks. It might have been
That's
that.
so
It might have
funny.
been the girl who told you to go up to the mysterious man.
That's funny.
But even up from Alpha and Omega, like the writing is like.
Yeah, it was. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, shout outs to the localization on that. Really,
job.
really good stuff. But that's it for the demo thus far. We are not totally done with it though, because I told everybody on earlier this week when we did we waited for the news, so these podcasts are being recorded a little bit closer together than normal. I asked people to send in their thoughts on the demo so that we could discuss them today, and a lot of people have. So let's find out what they have to say in this week's Fanswers segment.
Fanswers, da 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 da. Fanswers, da 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 da
Great.
da.
All right. So, if you've never listened to the podcast before, the Fanswers segment is the part of the show where we read emails that you guys have sent in. And if you want this to be something that you are part of in the future, send your emails in to thedexcast@gmail.com. That's THEDEXCAST@gmail.com. Remember that one time when I misspelled it?
Yeah, I do.
It was funny.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah. Last week I had you guys write in about what you thought of the demo that came out since we last met, and so let's talk about it. Right? Sounds good.
Yeah,
You with me?
I'm with you.
You ready?
Yes, I'm with you. I'm
This
ready.
first one comes from Christian, mysterious old man in Sun and Moon demo. I like where this guy's head is at already. Hey, Alex, Kellz, and Jimmy Maybe. I'm Christian, and I've been a huge fan of the Dex ever since the Gengar episode from way back. And I'd just like to thank you guys for helping me to enjoy this amazing franchise to the fullest extent. Hey. With the release of Sun and Moon demo, I'm sure by now you've met the mysterious old man on the Mahalo Trail. He seems like he could play a larger role in the story, with him saying, "You've become very important to me," after visiting him multiple times. My question is, what is your take on his character, and do you think he could be a significant character in the main games of Sun and Moon? Hopefully you guys see this. Kind regards, Christian.
You know what, Christian? You know what I thought? I thought when I was talking to this guy, he reminded me of the O-Power guy a little, right? Do you see that?
Yes, I'm totally there with you.
He has that like pleasant vibe and like that like you've made an impression on me sort of vibe. I don't know. He's wearing a red shirt. I don't know if that's, maybe they're both balls. I don't know. But he did give me a big impression that there's something that he's going to be involved with, especially because the girl's like, it'll teach you how to be closer with your Pokemon. And then like, it doesn't really do anything between you and your Pokemon.
I wonder if he's going to teach you like hyper training.
That'd be crazy.
or something like that. Or like, well, I don't know in the demo, but maybe like that's who he is. Maybe he's that guy. Like, because he seems like he's like a guru on top of a mountain practically.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like maybe he's like, this is how you make Pokemon achieve their greatest like thing. Or maybe he's just the guy who gives you the attachments to your, ride pager or whatever it's called. You know what I mean? Like maybe, or he's the champion of the game. He could be.
maybe he's Kalili, the girl.
He's super underdesigned to be the champion, but like, I don't know. I do feel like there's something mysterious going on here.
I strongly believe that he's related to some sort of like
Yeah.
O-Power-like thing.
My instincts are that he's not going to be central to the plot of the games, but that he is going to be some sort of NPC of note, if I had to guess. Or nothing, which would be also great. Like maybe he's just like supposed to kind of be like Diglett.
Just like
Just like a bald,
Mystery?
yeah, just like a bald dude. I don't know. Anyway, hope that answers your question. We touched on it a little bit already in the episode, but I too was very like taken with that encounter. I thought that was like a really cute little part of the game. So, thank you for that email, Christian. This next one comes from the one, the only Diedrich Volkers. Bam, Dev. Here he is. Demo 2000. Here we go. Hey, Alex, Jimmy, Kellz, and Wallace. I just played this here demo here and wanted to write in about it because of the hashtag special demo episode you guys are doing. I thought the demo was good. It's a solid taste of what's to come, and I'm double excited for it now that I've had that bite. Now, we can take a minute to appreciate how smooth your character moves. Can we take a minute to appreciate how smooth your character moves in this game?
Yeah.
It's no longer 8-directional and tile-based. It feels like somebody finally oiled that squeaky door that's been bothering me for years. That's exactly how I feel, Dev. Not only that, but I really enjoy the animations they added to the game, how your characters walk and run cycle chains when you hit the tall grass, how's Happy Dance, the Team Skull members uncontrollably b-boying at all times, even when walking. It's fantastic. Dude, it's so funny.
It's very fun.
Everything's become a lot more expressive and characterized, and I love that a lot. I found 2 obscure movement animations that I think you guys would enjoy. Press B over and over while walking. Your character sort of trips up, and I had a good laugh about it. Spin your control stick around for a bit. It's wonderful. Great.
I
haven't done either of those things, so hopefully you guys will do that as well. I can't speak for the full game, of course, but currently I'm a lot more excited to run into all these new characters with all these new expressions and animations. When they mentioned in some trailer once, I didn't think it mattered this much to me, but it kind of does. Dude, I'm totally in the same boat. I was very blown away by like how slightly better it was in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
Right.
And this is just on another level.
It's just fun. It's just like it's so rich. It's
Yeah.
great. It's really, really cool to walk around and like talk to people. It feels like a really in-depth, fleshed out RPG.
Yeah, it's freaking great. I'm like so ready. I'm like, my body is ready. Like I'm Reggie Fils-Aimé. Like I am turning into Reggie. Help me.
Oh my gosh,
I
he
am
really is.
turning into Reggie. No.
He looks just like him.
Thanks for reading and have a good rest of the podcast. Your pal Dev. P.S. Rockruff in-game is 10 times cuter than any art or trailer made him out to be. What in the holy hecking hey, dude? Whoa. PPS forever and always. Hashtag Popley Bros. Kellz, do you have anything that you'd like to share with the group?
I am on Team Poplio now.
Bam.
Do you want to know why? It's the same reason. I was thinking, here's what I was thinking.
Sure.
And it was such a Pokemon moment that I feel like I have
Yes,
to share
what
it.
were you thinking? Just kidding. I'm so ready for Poplio. Don't even try and read that wrong.
Okay, so like I was just like, ever since the second evolutions came out, I've been like thinking about them, and you all know that I was really, really into the idea of each one having their own like character flaw that I have to overcome. And so I was thinking about it, and I was like, so what do I like really dislike in people? And I was like, feelings of entitlement or acting spoiled or being like acting like a child when you're, an adult. And I'm like, I really, really dislike that. So like, maybe like I'm not the right trainer for Litten, But then I was thinking about Brion and how she keeps all of her emotions inside, and like you really have to be in tune with other people's emotions. And like since I identified with that so much, I've been thinking about it more and more. And I was like, I need to be the trainer for Brion because I know that I could help her through that step. And I couldn't believe like how much like the flavor text has affected me for like the first time ever in a Pokemon game, like enough to switch me over to changing my starter. But yeah, I'm gonna use Poplio. And so now we have the trifecta, right? Or Jimmy's doing Rowlet still, right? Or did he go to Litten?
I don't know. I'm purely Rowlet. I have been from the beginning. I don't know where Jimmy landed. It seemed like he was more Rowlet than he was Litten. But I'm sure that we'll meet somebody who chose Litten because
I know he really doesn't like Dartrix.
Yeah.
So
sure.
We'll see.
But I think he's still in because, well, I'm not even going to get into why. All right. But yes. Thank you so much for that email, Dev.
I miss you, Dev.
You're the main man. Good times. Anyway, this next one comes from Dr. Twisticles.
Oh!
A love rediscovered? Hey Dexcast, as you're probably aware, my favorite Pokemon is Raichu. The adorable little orange mouse has been my boy for near 20 years. For years, whenever I would tell people who my favorite was, I'd often get people scoff and tell me that Raichu was a poor choice and that theirs was something cool like Charizard or Dragonite, etc. However, now with the new Alolan forms in Sun and Moon, Raichu has suddenly become uber popular and I couldn't be happier. This leads me to my question. Do you guys have a Pokemon that you love that is underappreciated? If so, what is it and would you like it to get in Alolan form? Email the long for sorry, Dr. Twisticles, P.S. Any chance of more TCG online on the channel? Thanks to those Dex Versus episode, I've been getting into the TCG.
Whoop, whoop. Probably. We will probably be doing more.
Absolutely,
TCG
we will.
on the
Just
channel.
like definitely yes, we will.
Yay. Second of all, I guess for let's see here, Pokemon that like I have just a special love for. Like I think we've talked about this before, but for me it's Lantern. I feel like it doesn't get the credit it deserves, and Lantern's adorable and great and a cool typing and looks fantastic.
Lantern?
That's how I feel.
You want it to have an Alolan form?
It'd be cool for an Alolan form since it's like a fish. Like a fish.
A fish, dude. You slapped a fish.
I was quoting Steven Universe, but you did a good one too.
Shout outs to Bad Lip Reading as well as the entire team at Steven Universe. I don't know what my answer to this is. Maybe like somebody that I want to have in a Alolan form. Maybe like, I don't think he's underrated, but I would love for Snorlax to have like a Swim Trunks form. I'm trying to think like what's
floating in a huge inner tube Snorlax.
Yeah. I'm trying to think like what's a Gen 1 Pokemon that like doesn't get enough love, but there like isn't one. You know what I mean? It's just all love. Even like Executor, who was like long reviled, like got his love, yeah. Maybe Tropius, but he's like already in a Alolan form. I don't know. I don't know. That's a big question. Breloom, for always and forever. Chestnut, always and forever. Pokemon that don't get enough love. Galvantula.
Sure, yeah.
Electros, I think, is another Pokemon that doesn't get enough love for how cool it is. LGM, Behem.
Oh,
Those
weird.
guys are cool. Those guys are really cool. Think about how unique they are as Pokemon.
Yeah, they're like definitely.
They're so
Unique.
like tight, and they
got
just
the
didn't.
hiccups.
They just didn't get enough love. You got the hiccups?
I just did. I hope they don't continue.
It's all right. We'll get through it. Boom!
No.
Did it work?
It really did. That was cruel.
I'm sorry. I thought maybe I could help. I thought maybe I could. I thought maybe
you
I
did.
could.
We'll see.
Yeah. Hopefully.
That would made my heart flutter.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we're gonna definitely do TCGO. We might do it on Victory Road eventually. We're gonna shoot that really soon. We made plans.
Ooh,
It's happening. Yeah.
I heard those plans.
So thank you for that email, Dr. Twisticles. This next one is from Ace Trainer Jess. Demo mail. Evening, everyone. Give Pup Boy Wallace a pat for me. Smiley face. Can we get audio on that, Pat? Hopefully you guys heard that. Ace Trainer Jess here. I just wanted to send in a quick message. Like most trainers, I'm currently playing through the Sun and Moon demo, and I had to stop because I'm getting emotional. Haha. It's amazing to see how far the game has come, what Game Freak just keeps developing. I didn't start in Gen 1. My first game was Silver version, but I still watched the anime, had a small collection of cards, figures, a Pokedex with a Charmander figurine that went within, and the toys from Burger King. Okay, enough to give away my age. Dude, preaching to the choir here. Anyways, my point is I'm happy, just so damn happy that not only am I getting to experience this, but for the new players, people to come back, little kids that get to grow up with Pokemon like I did and bond with other players. If I continue, I'm just going to continue rambling. My point is shout out to Pokemon for always being there for me for the past 20 years, and I hope to continue playing and meeting people as long as it allows. Thanks for everything, Dexcast, and to everyone else in the TOVG office, please continue to create content for us to enjoy. Hashtag Pokemon forever. Hashtag obligatory sorry. Hashtag it's not long. Hashtag I know. Hashtag I was an English major. Hashtag writing is my specialty. Hashtag later man.
Who
Great.
is this from?
This was from Ace Trainer Jess.
Ace Trainer Jess, you are great.
Yeah.
I agree with everything that you said. I'm
Just
so
good
happy.
vibes.
This like makes me, your email just makes me super happy because I'm totally on your page. This is like absolutely what I was thinking too. It's so cool that like this is the product that's going to be put out for us in like a month. I feel great about it.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go.
Just good vibes, man.
Good vibes.
Thank you for that email. This
Great
next one
vibes.
is from Chuck, aka Upchucked, aka here's his
Hey.
email. I cannot believe that Game Freak took out the main feature of Gen 6. Alola Dexcast, which includes but is not limited to Alex, Kelly, Jimmy, Pupboy Wallace, and other distinguished guests. It's your favorite hashtag clean boy, Chuck. I'm running to you today because I would love to address something that the Game Freak sadly left out of the new Pokemon Sun and Moon demo. When I was going through the first section where you walk through City Hall, there were a bunch of seats and benches around the area, and I immediately wanted to sit down. So I tried, and I didn't sit. Oh, okay, I thought to myself, maybe it's just this single area. Maybe somewhere else I can sit. So I go through more of the demo and get to the Pokemon Center. By the Wi-Fi area, there are a bunch of tables with chairs next to them. I tried sitting there. I did not sit. Now I'm really getting mad. I go on further, and yet there's no place to sit. And even if there were, I know I wouldn't sit. This might seem like a minor thing to most people, but to me, this is such a crazy thing to remove. I cannot believe that Game Freak took out one of the biggest features of Generation 6. Sitting on benches was a huge step forward in the Pokemon series, and r/Pokemon nearly died when a trailer showed a trainer sitting down for X and Y. You might not think of it much, but just being able to sit down is a huge immersion factor. But without this, it makes a game seem more fake, where nothing is real. And don't get me wrong, I love the demo. The Hawaiian music hits me right in the sweet spot. Team Skull is already my favorite evil team of all time and best villain theme ever. The new Pokemon are awesome. The game is visually stunning, but I can't sit anywhere, and it's really frustrating. I don't know if it's just me, but this is insane. I cannot believe this, and I can't stand for this, but I have to. You get it? Dexcast, please tell me that I'm not going completely mad. And how do you feel about this and other minor changes in this new generation, like doing a pirouette whenever you spin the circle pad while walking, and the Pokemon sounds if you're near tall grass? Thanks for reading my bench sitting rant. I love you all, even you at home listening. The Eternal Stander, Chuck, hashtag thanks Dexcast, hashtag Team Skull, hashtag not apologetic for my shorter email, hashtag perfect dicks, hashtag Team Popley Bro, hashtag Cinchino is really underrated and should be used more in competitive, hashtag fight me on Showdown, hashtag can't wait for this new competitive show you got in the works, hashtag is Alex really Miyamoto, hashtag can you feel the lag tonight, hashtag check out /r/the completionist, hashtag it's pretty great, hashtag not an ad, hashtag could be an ad, hashtag later man.
Oh my gosh, every single hashtag. Great.
Crushed it.
You know what? I didn't see this, but this actually, there's a thought that did cross my mind that's kind of related to this while I was playing. And I mean, as a explorer of games, I walked up to everything on the wall, every bookshelf, every bench, and I tried to I clicked on everything just to see if there was something. And I was a little bit surprised at how little there was flavor text, because I'm used to going up to a bookshelf in Pokemon and it saying the shelf is lined with books. Maybe this is a thing that will be in the final game, because honestly, it's not really all that necessary for a demo. And maybe the seats will be sittable in the final version of the game. But it did cross my mind. So you're not despite this email being super funny, there's some merit to this.
Yeah, here's the thing. I have no anger for this, but I totally agree with you 100%. Though I will say that the Oros demo was also much simpler looking than the actual final game. So I'm hoping that we just are getting a pared down version. Not that it will fundamentally change my feelings on the game one way or the other, but the fact that it breaks your immersion is pretty true. Not being able to sit on anything is pretty weird. Mm-hmm. And especially in X and Y where you're looking at a bench and you find a secret note hidden there that has nothing to do with anything, or yada yada yada. All that stuff is so cool, and none of that's there. None of the there's a few things you could click on the TV, I think, in the visitor center or something like that. Yeah. But most bookshelves didn't say anything yet. When usually it's even just packed full of Pokemon books. These are too hard for me to read. I'm just a kid.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's nothing like that. But all the little details that are there, all the new things are really, really nice. So I'm pretty excited about that.
I was most sad in the police station where I was oh man, there was keys hanging on the wall.
Dude,
and I was
saw those keys.
I gotta get those keys. And then the keys were unclickable. And I was
did you notice what color those keys were?
No. Yellow?
Silver and gold.
Silver and gold?
Never mind. Let's move on.
Oh, come on.
That's too deep. We can't go that deep yet.
They're keys.
We can't go that deep yet. We can't get there yet. That's crazy. It's too deep. Chuck, thank you, my man.
Thank you, Chuck.
Thank you, Chuck. This next one comes from Zach. 10 Carat Hill, Gen 4 remakes confirmed. Mm-hmm. Hey, Dexcast, Zach here. I was listening to the last episode when you mentioned the idea that previous games in the series had always had some hidden tidbit of information relating to the next game in the series. It's been a hope of mine that we'll see Gen 4 remakes after Sun and Moon. Now, I noticed something. In the demo, there is a location called 10 Carat Hill, which is a reference to Diamond Head in Hawaii. Carats being how carats are, what is it, the value of diamonds,
Yeah,
basically?
it's a weight classification.
Others have noted that Hawaii contains both Diamond Head and Pearl Harbor, Diamond and Pearl. Hopefully, this is one of those hints you guys are talking about. Also, the fact that Silvally is seemingly connected to Arceus. Also, if we get Gen 4 remakes next, I hope they introduce Sin Omegas, particularly Electric Dark Mega Luxray. Also, shout-outs to Jimmy for suggesting Podcast Addict for Android, so now I can listen to my podcast on my phone. Love the work you guys do. Hashtag Team Rowlet. Hashtag these emails really do look long on a phone. Hashtag Team Sun. Hashtag Gen 4 remakes confirmed. Hashtag Saturday or Sunday crew because I live in Australia. Regards, Zach.
Woo-woo. I didn't really think about this because I thought 10 karat was like karat gold, and
It's the same thing, right?
It's not quite the same thing, but like it's pretty much, they're both like classifications for like weight and like purity or whatever. But I just didn't even think of it in relation to a diamond, but that's a very good observation. My mind automatically went gold, but like it also is very plausible to relate it to diamonds. That's all I have to say about that.
I think this is exciting. I have no way of commenting on the veracity of this, but I'm like, this is the kind of thinking that I love. So
Yeah, it's cool.
yeah, thank you so much. And dude, like nobody wants those more than I do. Nobody wants those remakes more than Alex. Don't
you love
forget.
Gen 4, man.
We all do secretly. We all just like realize that we love it. You went through the phase where you were like, I don't like Gen 4 that much. Wait, it's the best. Remember?
It's true. It's true. I said that.
It's the
I
best.
didn't say the best, but it's pretty,
Dude, it's
pretty good.
It's pretty damn good. It's pretty damn good. All right, we got some more. Let's keep going.
let's
This is a meaty one.
Let's Ray.
This one is from what name shall I say? How about I'm just gonna say Tyrese. This is Pokemon Theory from Tyrese, Ether and Skull's Real Ambition. I think the Ether Foundation is gathering Pokemon to use as life energy to bring Project Azoth into fruition. Remember that NPC in X and Y that said there were people before Team Flare that were asking questions about the legends of Kalos? Mm-hmm. This may have very well been Team Aqua and Magma, but why? Sure, they did research into Infinity Energy, but that ties more into the Ultimate Weapon and Mega Evolution, not the actual legends of Kalos. I believe Lusamine, Gladion, and Lily aren't human, but not Pokemon technically either. I think they come from another plane of existence and came to Earth through the portals you see them come through in the trailers and disguised themselves as humans, thus actually being the Ultra Beasts. I also feel like Team Skull may have much more going on behind the scenes than we think. Them selling and poaching Pokemon may be a way to make fast money since Pokemon and Alola are very rare anywhere else and would sell for a high price on the black market. Mm-hmm. To piece everything together, I think research for Project Azoth started with Team Aqua Magma. By the way, Project Azoth is like this weird thing that's referenced throughout X and Y and more specifically in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Very interesting. And the reason that people are still excited about it is because Azoth is a term from alchemy.
Right.
Which is like a very clear overarching theme of the mythology behind the Alolan region.
Right.
So get hyped for that. To piece everything together, I think Project Azoth started with Team Aqua Magma and was picked up by Flare and eventually by the Ether Foundation. The Ether Foundation would use the research on Infinity Energy to open portals like the Devon Corp tried to do in Oros before Zinnia stopped them. This is their reason for harvesting vast amounts of Pokemon and needing the approval of the public to do so. Gladion and Lily disagreed with Lusamine's methods for reasons of their own and left Ether to find a way to stop her. Gladion stole Type Null to easily secure a position as Guzma's right-hand man to manipulate Team Skull into fighting the Ether Foundation, and Lily became the professor's assistant to possibly get information on the legends of Alola. For Team Skull, I think they're working to awaken Zygarde to try and control it, and despite Guzma's front, he may actually be very smart and had knowledge of Ether's true plans the entire time. This would mean Team Skull were actually the ones that were in Kalos gathering information on the legends there. This may be the real final twist in the game, where Team Skull are actually competent and only really fighting with Ether because their plans get in the way of his own. Guzma's reason for not becoming a trial captain may not have been his lack of skills as a trainer, like maybe the professor, but perhaps an obsession with power, thus not being fit to guide trainers on their journey, like a dark side Pokemon trainer, it seems like. I have a lot more to add, such as Blue, Green, and Red appearing in Gen 7, and how generations can be a smart way to add foreshadowing to the events of Sun and Moon. But this email is already getting long as it is, if not already. I keep a notebook full of stuff like this that I do research and fill up in my free time. I would be happy to expand on this in the future, and I haven't even touched on Alchemy and Marshadow yet. Thanks for reading my email. What is Marshadow? Do we know?
A rumored nethered Pokemon that is making the rounds on the internet. I won't, just in case it is a spoiler, I won't go any further into that, but that's that.
Great. All right. Dude, good stuff here.
That was a pretty cool,
This
pretty
sounds
well thought out theory.
like the way that you're talking about this seems logical to me. Like it explains a lot of their behavior. I have the same feeling. I have a feeling that this game is going to try and like give a lot more sort of like timeline-based information about the story of Pokemon in general. Does that make sense? Does that seem like something that maybe we might get a little bit of?
Yeah.
Even if it's like the same way that they usually do lore dumps in these games, which is like a building with like 5 books in it. You know what I mean? Like, I still think that we are going to get some like, dude, there's been a thing going on behind the scenes the whole time. See Mauville, man. Look into it. Look into New Mauville. Something's under there, baby. You better be careful. That's what I think. I'm starting to sound like a conspiracy theorist, except like there is actually no Pokemon world, so it's like even worse. But thank you, Tyrese. I really appreciate that. I mean, feel free to write in again. I can't guarantee that you're going to be, read again on the air, but I would love to hear more. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Good. All right, I got one more for you guys. How about that?
Tight.
Maybe two more if we run out of time. We'll if this one's short, but we'll see. This one is from Gus. Theory about island trials and captains. Hey, Pup Boy. Also, hello, I guess, to Alex, Kellz, and Jimmy. I have a hashtag crazy theory with alternating capital and lowercase letters about the trial captains and kahunas. As of the time I'm writing this email, we've seen 5 trial captains and 2 kahunas. In one of the previous trailers, you can see Sophocles, Kiawe, Mallow, and Lana performing the Z move for their respective types. Also, Ilima is revealed to specialize in normal types. Olivia specializes in rock types, and Hala has a crab brawler, which could reasonably mean that he specializes in fighting types, Hala being the kahuna of Melee Melee Island. My theory is this. What if there are 14 trial captains and 4 kahunas, each specializing in one type to teach you the Z move and give you the Z crystal of their type? This would be such a great substitute for gym leaders and the Elite Four, in my opinion. Which actually is true, because you don't get a badge, so maybe you just get a Z stone.
Maybe.
Because it's still kind of like a badge, right? What do you guys think of this theory? I'm a giant fan of the hashtag DexCast and look forward to it every week. Hashtag sorry for the ridiculously long email. Gus, this email on my screen is 4 lines long. You're doing fine, bro. You're doing fine.
It does have a very wide screen.
I think, yeah, but still, that's what I'm saying. It's it's all about a matter of size.
Yeah.
Anyway, I agree with you. I think this is a totally workable theory. 14 and 4 sounds like a pretty believable number, and I think they aren't even close to the amount of people that you're going to be doing quests for.
Yeah.
In general.
Yeah, that's one thing that the demo kind of gives you the sense of, is that lots of quests.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, I'm 100% right about this quest thing on the Dex
Pokedex.
Yeah, what is it called? Rotom
The
Dex.
Rotom Dex.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it's going to be a quest guide, and also so many of the people, even in the demo, there's 2 or 3 people that give you quests that are just not trial captains. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, there's only 3 in the game, so you don't need a book to keep track of them in. But I don't know. Seems pretty likely.
It's pretty cool.
I'm pretty into this theory.
Me too.
I think I would be happy with this theory too. I'd be like, oh, cool. What a great way to make badges actually worth something instead of just making it harder for you to grind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cool stuff.
Thank you for your email.
Thanks so much. You want to do one more?
Let's do it. We're still under an hour.
You're right. We'll cross that hour and then we'll be out of here.
All right.
Yeah. So this is Mike. Rockruff and the starters. Hello, Alex, Kelly, Jimmy, and if this email gets read, hello to everyone listening. This is Mike. While I was listening to a previous podcast, I found the idea that the connection between Rowlet, Litten, Poplio, and Rockruff may involve their emotional development. Very intriguing. Shout out to Connor for originality. Anyway, that got me to notice something else that I don't think anyone has touched upon, at least not on this podcast. What if the connection has to do with their types? If you look at Rowlet's flying type instead of grass, the 4 represent the classical elements of earth, fire, water, and air. Mm-hmm. On top of that, Alola is made up of 4 natural islands. Now, I'm not saying they have anything to do with the guardian deities of each island or the totems, but what if these 4 species hold a special spiritual connection to each island? Maybe having one that's fully evolved or with max friendship will do something special if you bring them to the right location. Or maybe having all 4 in your party is the key. Who knows? And then there's also the 5th element, ether, quintessence, which is the most spiritual of these elements.
Wait, I thought the 5th element was love.
Checking out the movie, The 5th Element. Check it out on Blu-ray.
Okay.
And was only added to... The 5th element, ether quintessence, which is the most spiritual of these elements and was only added to the group by Aristotle. Similarly, the ether paradise is an artificial island that was added to the Alola region, located in the center. As of writing this email, I have no ideas for what this might imply, if anything. Just thought it was worth mentioning. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this. Can't wait for Sun and Moon. Hashtag just get here already. Hashtag on second thought, no. Hashtag still finishing up Alpha Sapphire. Dude, I think this might be the question that I'm most interested in the answer to of anything.
Yeah.
Right?
It's certainly it's mysterious.
What if but here's my thought is this, right? Obviously, you know that the final evolutions of all the starters leaked.
Yes, they did.
I
did not look.
Yeah. But what if it's a ruse? What if all of it's a ruse?
You mean them all having connection?
No, what if what if like the ones that were leaked are like only half of the story or something like that? Like what if there's more to it and it's like they like a lot of the time, like with the Smash leaks and stuff, for example, I think just from an outsider's view, like I have no actual inside information on this, but it seems like a lot of the time they'll let something leak and be like, this will be the thing we give them, and they'll obsess over that, and then we can like sneak 2 more things in at the end. So I'm wondering if they were like, well, these things are going to leak anyway. They already kind of have leaked, maybe like somewhere else, you know, or like this is the type of thing that people will be tweeting about the moment like.
Well, I don't know. I feel like it's not worth it to risk like the data mine of all of that info just for like, but there's still another thing. I think that's, I don't know. I just don't buy that.
I'm going to be looking very carefully at this October 27th announcement. And I think that like, you know, just assuming like last time the exact same thing happened. You know what I mean? So surely they had a plan for what to do about it this time.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? Like surely they weren't like,
be.
maybe this time it will be good. Like they had to know that anything they put in the demo was going to get data mined. So maybe it's all just misleading. Maybe it presents a different picture than the true picture. What do you think about that?
I think it's interesting, but I think it's a little bit tin hat.
You think it's tin hat, but
Yeah.
you think the freaking other theory that I was talking about wasn't tin hat a second ago?
What? I don't
was
know.
that?
This one just doesn't seem very likely to me.
I have faith. I believe that the Rock Ruff comment is my most interesting tidbit award 2K16, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a cool theory. I just personally, I just don't know if I subscribe to the fact that there was like the data mine was on purpose and all.
I don't think the data mine was on purpose. I just think that
it just seems like
look, we already know that there's like not anything that like we already know that there's stuff that's not in the code of this game, of this demo.
Right.
We already know that. So why would some stuff be in there and some stuff not be in there?
I don't know.
That's like pretty weird.
I
right?
just don't have enough like knowledge about programming and design to like be able to answer the question with any form of like
right.
intelligence behind it. So
I just think that could actually be the logic of the PR company.
Interesting.
Like just knowing what I know about PR, I don't know any like actual insider information about this, but just like from an outsider's perspective, I could see them doing that to like divert suspicion away from something, or, you know,
Sure.
as a smokescreen for some more reveals.
Sure.
So
like,
we'll see.
I get the concept. I just like, for me, I just like, I don't know, just call me a doubter, but it just doesn't, I just like feel like probably not in my thoughts.
We shall see. We shall see. All right. Thank you so much for that email, Mike. What else do we want to know? What do you think about the Fifth Element thing? I think that's
What?
I think that's pretty clean. I think the Fifth Element thing is pretty clean.
I think it's pretty neat. Like I'm so down for all the alchemic stuff to come in to play, and I would love to see anything that they would like to do with that, because I think it's a really cool design choice.
Yeah, you know what? That's another thing I'm waiting for, is the big like, oh, alchemy like moment. Yeah. I hope that there is one. I hope it's not just like a theme, like a basic design theme.
Yeah.
We will see. But anyway, that's it for today. Please keep watching our channel if you want reminders about what day the events are coming out, if you got the demo on day one. But I will say, and I will mention this in the next video, that it is tied to your game calendar. So you can actually still do everything in the game as long as you come back on the right days based on what they say. That's probably why they don't give you dates in the game.
Gotcha.
But I'm going to put the videos out on the first possible day that those items are available, so that you don't forget that they're there. And then if you want to go back and watch them, if you downloaded, if you got the game a day later, 2 days later, 3 days late, you can go back and be like, all right, this day was this day, so bop,
Sure.
whatever. So hopefully that helps. And go check out those videos. There's one up right now, but go check it out. We talk about like some of the like more crackpot mysteries and things that we find, more things along the lines of like, the ghost girl and Kellz, that type level of mystery. So we're going to talk about those. Those videos are very short and it's nice and snackable. So go check those out. And thank you for listening to this podcast. And shout out to the Friday crew for being here on Friday. Shout out to the Saturday crew for being here on Saturday.
If you're in Portland for Retro Gaming Expo, Alex is there.
Yeah,
So say hi to him.
I'm here in Portland this weekend. Come check me out. I drove, so
Road trip.
yeah, I'm gonna be pretty tired, but I'll be there. I'm really excited to see everybody. So thank you guys for listening. I've been Alex,
And I'm Kellz.
and if you guys want to send in your answers to this type of stuff or respond to this next week's news, that's going to be sent to thedexcast@gmail.com. That's THEDEXCAST@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, guys. See you next week. Bye.
Waiter man.